Que lo miré, me robó el corazón.
Hey, scientists. This is Jordan with San Francisco State University's SCICOMM, and I'm here today with Samantha Sambado.
Hello.
Sambado.
Sambado, yes.
So we are today, we're getting to know Sam and her science while she is going to make us a grown-up Lunchables.
Woo, yeah, great. Well, Jordan, with the holidays coming up, my favorite things are appetizers. I hate the big stuffy meals. I'm all about the cheeses and the bries and the meats and the bread. So, and we can do this in our lab without any real equipment. So I'm going to make a charcuterie plate today.
Cool. Wait, how do you say it?
Charcuterie, I believe. I don't really know the origin of it. I always say charcuterie and no one looks at me that weird, so I'm going to go with that.
Cool. Okay, well, I don't cook. So this is...
Yeah, no, this is like anyone can do this. You really can't screw this up. So I got some basics. Not even you.
Like we say with a lot of lab tests.
Yeah. Well, person for everything, yeah. Anyways, you have to assemble some really key players for a charcuterie plate. You need your meats, but if you're vegan or vegetarian, you can substitute with other things. Hummus. You need your cheeses. If you're lactose intolerant, I'm sorry. Maybe you can get goat cheese or something. People can eat goat cheese, right? No?
I have no idea.
Okay. So this is not a very inclusive meal. It's a lot of meats and cheeses.
That's okay.
Yeah,
great.
So
what
meats, cheeses, and fruit, nuts, and a couple other little things. First, we're going to make our crostinis. So crostini is just a very fancy way of saying...
Wait, we have a bread knife somewhere.
Yep. Toasted toast. Basically, we're going to cut up this bread into very little slices to be kind of almost like a tapas, where we're going to make...
Can I just...
Yeah, go for it. This is kind of going to be our little vessel to put all our goodies on top of. You don't have to
about vessels.
Yes, my family came over on one. You don't have to toast it, but it does add a really nice crunch that I really, really enjoy.
And we're going to use that.
We're going to use a really ran down ratchet toaster oven.
I'll throw in an image of it later.
Y esta vez fue muy casual.
But usually, when I make crostinis, you can douse this bread in olive oil. It makes it really nice and crispy and gives a nice nutty flavor. However, today we don't have olive oil, so you're just going to do a good old toasted toast.
Sweet.
Heated up bread. Okay.
So, let's get into the science.
The science. Oh, yes, science.
Do ticks eat toast?
Well, ticks are generalist vectors, actually, so ticks really eat anything, but they like blood. So really, your blood, deer blood, mouse blood. Not zombie blood, because they don't have blood. But yeah. Ticks may not like this, but they might like you because you're a little fatter after you eat all this.
Okay, so Sam, tell me the first time you got involved in science. You can go as far back as you want, or as most recent.
Can I throw this in the toaster?
I'll throw it in the toaster.
Okay, keep talking. Maybe not how I first got started, but what really stuck out in my mind was I did this UC-wide field course where basically they threw 25 students across all the UC campuses and threw them in the backcountry of California for 50 days. Basically, this was my first field experience. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was really great. I had this really awesome teacher, and 25 other students were field wizards. So they basically taught me everything. I learned how to soil sample and ID birds and fungus and small mammal trap.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That should be that resource needs to be more widespread because I don't feel like enough people know about that opportunity.
No, I didn't know about it. Actually, when I joined, they already had 3 previous quarters before I joined. And so trying to get UCLA to understand, this is a field quarter, give me credit. They're like, what is this? I'm like, no, I swear it's a real thing. So it was really frustrating because it was such a great resource, especially people who they like science, but they didn't want to really be pre-med, but you wanted to be outside, but you also want to do lab work, and you want to do something that's meaningful for the world. So this course was really pivotal in my career.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and so...
Here, you can try to clean that.
Yeah, how do you want me to cut this?
Very small pieces.
Chunk, like this way?
I usually will do it this way. And then as they get wider, you kind of cut it across in half.
So blocks.
Yeah, think about a cheese plate. Think about when you eat cheese. What kind of cheese and salad do you like?
Okay, so tell me about your science now. Disclosure, we are both in the same lab. Tick lab. Tick-BorneDiseases.
Tick chicks.
Tick chicks.
Yes.
So we are in the Sway lab. Dr. Andrea Sway here at San Francisco State, and we study tick-borne diseases. So automatically your brain should go, Lyme disease. But Sam,
I studied a cousin of Lyme disease. And not only is it a cousin of Lyme disease, my disease, Borrelia motoi, was the first tick-borne disease ever, but no one really realized it. The Borrelia species. Which is the species that cause like the babesiosis, Lyme disease, a bunch of other really crazy things. So I researched the cousin of Lyme disease, which was just found in California in 2006. But since then, no one knows anything about it. Like, we don't know where it is.
2018, by the way.
2018. No. Yes. They don't really know like where it is, what's its reservoir, how's it transmitted. There's a lot of really basic questions that I'm like kind of setting out to answer. So my tofu and potatoes are figuring out where in Northern California is it, what is a potential reservoir, and how is it transmitted between all three life stages of a tick. So ticks come in three life stages: egg, larvae, nymph, and adult. Some people call it egg with the larvae, or it's 4 life stages. Right now we're just concerned with the last 3. So unlike Lyme disease, Borrelia motoi can be transmitted for all 3 life stages of the tick, which is really interesting to understand disease transmission because it utilizes vertical and horizontal transmission.
Ooh, can you back up a little bit? What's the difference between the two?
So horizontal transmission is when a not-infected tick feeds on an infected mouse and then they pick up the infection. That's horizontal transmission. That's what Borrelia burgdorferi, the Lyme disease agent, does. However, my disease, Borrelia motoi, it's yours. It's all yours. It's my disease. It's vertically transmitted, which means an infected female tick can pass down her infection to all of her offspring, which is really cool. But like, people are not quite sure how efficient it is. So yeah, but they utilize horizontal and vertical transmission, which is neat.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, what are you most excited about with your research?
Just discovering everything. I just like want to know everything there is about it. I just like want to be the person who figures it out.
Founder.
Right here. No, I just like, it's nice because not a lot of people have researched it, so I have a lot of room to grow, but it's also frustrating that literature is lacking sometimes for it, so you're like, hopefully I'm doing the right thing, I'm not quite sure. So it's a lot of self-doubt with it, but it's also very exciting, and like, if I ever find something, I'm like, oh my god, I need to like finish this right now and then get to the bottom of it, which I feel like a real true life detective.
Yeah, sometimes I think that scientists are actually detectives.
Yeah, we are.
Because, you know, you're using previous known knowledge and trying to figure out, like, oh, we'll try this method. That didn't work. Okay, we'll try this method. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah. A lot of trial and error. Lots of trial and error.
Yeah.
Oh, toast. Give me most crostinis. Now I'm holding your plate with a little prosciutto. It's a Italian style ham. My family is very Italian, so we love our prosciutto. It's just a very smoky, salty, skinny meat. Add a little bit to our plate.
Gorgeous, darling.
Gorgeous. And then on top of the prosciutto, we're going to also have a little salami, because who doesn't like salami?
Have you had salami and cream cheese?
No, that's weird.
Oh man.
No, my grandmother rolled. Don't tell my grandparents, but I am using store-bought salami because my family usually makes their own homemade salami.
What?
So my standards are high, but I do believe that Columbus makes some of the finest store-bought salami. Shout out.
Sponsor me. What else can I do?
You can put some grapes nicely all over the plate.
Ooh, I like to decorate.
Yes.
I can do that.
Yes. I usually want bunches of 3 to 4 kind of placed intermediately throughout it.
Wow, there really is a science to
There's a science to this, yes. A visual aid. And mix up the colors, pull like green, some like purple.
What is the most surprising thing about your research so far?
We found it! Heck yeah! We were able to isolate Borrelia motoi at 5 of the 8 sites we sampled, which was pretty awesome, considering like we were just like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I literally cried when I got the sequencing results back.
What? I didn't know
Yeah, I think I texted you and Ariel like right after my trip.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm literally crying. I was literally crying. I was so happy we actually found it because until about 2 months ago, I had no thesis unless I found it. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And now it's like really cool patterns within the tick vector, how infection prevalence is staged in between different life stages, whether it's the larvae or nymph. So hopefully, yeah, we'll create a nice little picture.
Or are we done?
Well, now we're just add a little bit of flair in them. So we're gonna throw a little bit.
Like none of this is flaring.
Well, this is not salted but roasted almonds, so good for our health.
So
Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle them a little bit here. You sprinkle a little there. Kind of strategically place it. If you want to get really fancy, you can also drizzle honey over your entire plate. You have some really fancy homegrown honey. And then also, I want to mention as a side dish, we're going to have our roasted red peppers, which go really great with a little toast, and especially for people who don't eat meat. This is a really great hearty substitute. Yeah.
Okay. How did you get involved? So can we start snacking?
Yeah, let's start snacking. Yeah.
How did you get involved in cooking, or like what was your your memorable transition into cooking life?
I'm Italian, so I started cooking before I learned how to walk. But one of my favorite cooking memories is learning how to make fagassa. Fagassa is Italian bread.
Okay.
I like bread, but like whatever. People are all snippety about it.
I totally know what you're talking about now.
But fagassa people usually see in the stores are really like chunky and like doughy. That is not the fagassa my family makes in general. We make very thin, crispy, olive oily, salty bread. And it's been a tradition in my family, like my grandmother, her mother, and her mother, they all used to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to make this crispy fagassa because it takes several hours to make it, and it's a lot of love. And even when I tried to, I remember when I was like 8 years old, my grandmother sat me down and she said, okay, we're going to learn how to make fagassa the real way. Because before I was like, I nibble on the good after part, but I was like, okay, I'm become a woman. I'm going to learn how to make fagassa.
That's your entry.
That's my entry into womanhood.
It's the only way you're a woman.
Yeah, at least in Italian culture. So I remember getting up really early with my grandmother where we had we made the dough, we had to let it rise. My grandmother likes to put it in her car because apparently the heat in the car is really good for rising. And then
that is a family tip and trick.
Yeah, so if you ever want your dough to rise the correct temperature at the correct time.
So what about in winter when it's cold?
Well, your car still gets warm. Your car's still warm if you leave it in the sun for a couple hours.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that was a really great time. And I actually if I'm not with my grandmother or my great grandmother, I cannot replicate this recipe because I think it's the oil in their hands that gave this extra flavor. Because every time I try to make it by myself, it never has a little extra something. But that's
all the years.
Yeah, all the years of fagassa making. So that's kind of like how I've always been into cooking. But that was the one time I was like, I'm finally a cook. I'm 8 years old. Hear me roar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So now today, what is your favorite thing to make? Your go-to?
My go-to is probably polenta. Polenta is it used to be the poor man's dish because my family used to make it when they came over from Italy and had no money, but it's you buy it in bulk. It's just this cornmeal.
Right.
And you just add a little boiling chicken broth to it and you kind of make, you stir. You have to constantly stir it for 45 minutes. And so we're always just in the kitchen stirring with polenta. Now we have I use not as authentic polenta, but hopefully my grandmother's not listening to this. So I make the polenta, and then I usually will do some kind of tomatoey chicken dish and olives that go alongside it.
So cool.
Yeah, it's very hearty, it's very warm, it just reminds me of my family, and it's nice to have.
Want to tell my go-to cooking?
Lunchables.
Top ramen and sprinkled hot Cheetos.
Oh yeah, well hey, that's another culinary cuisine. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Sam.
Oh, thanks for having me. Go science.
Yeah.
Go ticks. Go science.
Okay.
Go charcuterie.
Yes. This is actually perfect for holiday season.
Yes, exactly. So hopefully this gets released. The mixtape coming to you soon.
Dropping live. Thank you for sticking around, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to San Francisco Incubator Science Communication.
Yeah. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks.